All right, this is how content is created in the kitchen. Vlog day 46, 47, something like that. It's crazy. There's a lot of days to be talking to a camera about my life. So show you the creation. This is just shooting a quick reel for Instagram, Facebook, all the things to promote this new song that I got called It's the Weekend, featuring my homie Colby Micah, who's a super dope artist. He's from Nelson, BC. Very young too. I think the kid's only like 17 years old, has an amazing singing voice. He does a really dope verse on this, and he's also featured on 2 other songs on my album. A song called Holding Back, and I forget what the other one's called. Anyway, Finding Balance album comes out April 10th. Very excited about it to finally get it out into the world. But yeah, this is the song. It's the Weekend. It's on Spotify, iTunes, all the things if you want to check it out. And we're gonna shoot a little piece of content. Amazing helper here, director, videographer extraordinaire. She does it all, folks. All right, got the song ready, video set, and here we go. Alright, so this was inspired off of somebody I saw online that did a video where they were walking around on their countertop, and I was like, I want to walk around on my fucking countertop, because why the fuck not? You know when parents used to tell us not to jump on our beds or like walk on countertops? Now that I'm a big boy and I have my own home, I can walk all over the countertop if I want to. Ain't nobody gonna tell me shit. So that's what this is. Alright, let's do it. I'm getting all sweaty now. Oh, I've been dancing around up here.
Well, you're near all the lights, you're gonna get
That's
steamy.
I guess, yeah, it's the heat. The heat of the light. No, it's just being around you, babe. Too hot. Too hot for me. Alright, okay.
It's a party on the weekend, I don't wanna be friends, keep it on the low. Swimming in the deep end, if you wanna leave then you can grab your keys and get a raincoat. I don't wanna play these games with you. If you waited up with it, just gonna make your move. I know you wanna try it, just don't deny it. I ain't lying unless I'm lying with you, yeah. Going for the touchdown, we can hit the end zone. Why you always wanna put me in the red zone?
Alright. Sweet. I think we nailed it. Thank you. Boom. What do you think? Making content in the kitchen. Got the fit looking fire.
All pink.
All pink.
Love your hair.
You know, Russ had a line in one of his songs, and he just dropped a reel for it. It's really funny. It says, "Real men wear pink and eat it too." And that's the truth, you know? Yeah. Alright, so that's how it's looking. Cool angle, cool vibe, cool aesthetic. Play these games with you. Yeah, totally, that was a good idea to put the cup over there. Just don't deny it. I ain't lying unless I'm lying with you. Yeah. Perfect. I like that little swoop after.
Yeah.
Gangster.
Better at this.
Killing it. Oh, and here's a little sneak peek. That's the tour poster we're about to drop. What? We're gonna add a few more dates, but yeah, it's looking pretty freaking sweet. Look at that thing. Jason Hutton, you're a legend, bro. So yeah, that's what I was working on today. Getting the poster all ready, getting some dates finalized, getting some more local artists on the bills for each city, and then just talking with you about life and aging gracefully and my gray hairs that make me feel uncomfortable. So this is my hair, you know? And I used to dye it quite a bit because it would just like bug me that I'm getting like gray hairs, and I'm 37 years old. But, you know, I'm starting to just learn to accept it. And Annarose says that it's hot to have
Yeah.
silver fox vibes, right?
I think, most women, in my personal opinion, I don't know all the generations, but I think men have been allowed to age gracefully for quite some time. I think though the media has changed now, we see so many men also getting facelifts, which feels very odd because
Yeah, I don't know if I do that.
no, you're good, honey. You got a good face. But when it comes to like Hollywood and stuff, like everyone's getting facelifts, or again, like you said, dyeing your hair. Everyone's so fixated on trying to look young all the time, where it's such a beautiful thing to be able to age. You know, what a blessing it is to actually be able to show that you have lived life happily. Seeing wrinkles on someone's face, you know, things like that. If there's smile lines or sad lines, you can tell when someone's actually lived their life. When you erase those emotions and those expressions on someone's face, like either using, like everyone's obsessed with getting Botox, like premature Botox. I see 20-year-olds getting Botox and stuff in their heads, and it's crazy. It's
The
just
lip thing's crazy.
yeah. I just like, it's just basically so obsessed with aging. Like, what's the deal? You know, like I understand like women usually don't get as many jobs in the acting field when they are aging. Like, for instance, they are just basically immediately made the mom character or the grandma character when in acting and stuff like that. But men can get away with being in rom-coms still in their 50s being silver foxes, but that doesn't also diminish how you're feeling in regards to feeling insecure about your grays and aging in that sense as well, because you've lived a very full life, and a lot of that full life comes with stress, so your grays are going to come from that.
Yeah. And if you know me, you know I deal with a lot of stress, doing a lot of things, juggling a lot of things, and wearing a lot of different hats. So that'll do it to me. But I'm starting to embrace it a little bit more. I feel more comfortable with the fact that it just is what it is, and it's who I am. So accept it, be okay with it, and don't really care about what somebody thinks. Not that I'm gonna sign up to be in a rom-com anytime soon, but my life is a rom-com.
But I think in a lot of ways that it's very valid that you feel insecure about your gray hairs and stuff like that, because you also want to depict a certain image. When you're on social media and stuff like that, you want to create this youthful image, and showing that necessarily you've lived a full life sometimes can also feel very like, oh, then maybe the younger audience isn't going to be as interested, because I don't know if your fans have seen, probably I've seen all these dinosaur memes, like if you say 1990 and then people in 2000s are like, yeah, anyways, it's a weird generation.
I'm an 88 baby, for those that don't know.
Yeah, so it's just weird.
Born in the 80s, raised in the 90s, slaying it in the 2000s.
You mean the better generation?
I guess, yeah. I was lucky. I was blessed to be alive before there was TikTok.
Yeah, the
before there was
TikTok brain.
all the internet taking over everything. Back when we used to go outside and play as kids and like play games like hopscotch.
Well, I remember
Cops and robbers.
everyone's like has like their iPads and stuff in the cars, but I remember I didn't have anything. Maybe I had my iPod, and then I would look at the raindrops that would go on like the windows. Did you ever like see if like your raindrop beat in the race to another raindrop? Yeah, things like that.
Especially
you know, using your
car.
imagination. Yeah, when the rain's coming through, or like just you're outside. Here's a stick. What are you gonna use it as? Is it a magical wand? You know, like women, we have a lot of dark stories that we would make, like with our Barbies and stuff. And I know a few like fun little stories there, but like you had to use your imagination for everything.
Fun little stories there.
Yeah. The women were always women always do like the darkest stories when it comes to like playing with Barbies or Brats and stuff, like back in the day, like toys. They would be like, I have 5 children and my husband has left me, and like it's like dark, grim. I have like this breast cancer. Like you would do like the worst stories and like make your characters go through the worst stuff. It was like, and a way to express, at least this is from girls' perspectives, I think some other people can relate, but you know, it's like, it's nice not to live online and have grown up online, because I think it can be quite a toxic culture for sure. And then coming back to the aging bit, people are so obsessed with looking a specific way just because of social media. So
Yeah, I never played with Barbies, but I played Lego, and had huge wars between, you know, I'd build a Lego clan, and then my brother would build a Lego clan, and then we'd have a fight between each clan, see who won. We'd have like a big fortress and a fort we'd make. And then imagination with sticks. Yeah, I used to jump around on the trampoline in the backyard, and I would grab my hockey stick, and then I would fight. I would pretend that my trampoline was on the top of this mountain, and there was all these like trolls and gargoyles and like weird characters trying to jump onto my trampoline, and I would fucking spin the stick around and fucking use it like a staff and just like fight them and kill them all, and I was just the king of my trampoline castle. So yeah, I definitely did a lot of that, and now kids don't really do that because they've got video games that are hitting their dopamine receptors
all the time
in like crazy ways, and they probably just don't have the ability to have that imagination as much. And I read a lot as a kid. I read so many books. This was back when Goosebumps was a thing. I used to read all the Goosebumps, Animorphs, read all the Animorphs, read all the Archie comics.
Have you rewatched the Goosebumps series, like the TV show?
No.
I
maybe
rewatched
watched a couple.
It's rough.
Episodes.
Drink some wine. It's funny.
Yeah.
As an adult watching that stuff, or like The Crypt Keeper. Again, that's so good. Are You Afraid of the Dark? Another fantastic one. Yeah. The Crypt Keeper. But too, like playing mermaids was a big thing for girls. You know, we'd go in the hot tub, and you'd have like your hands, and you'd walk in the hot tub and pretend you're a mermaid flying in the water. Like that was a thing too, playing mermaids. But I think one of the reasons too, like the dopamine receptors being hit so much, is our television, our cartoons, our movies and stuff are such high saturation in color. But when you look at the older movies, a lot of them are muted colors. Like, especially kids' shows, they actually take time between things. Like, cinematography was, I think, more valuable back then. Like,
script.
Yeah, and Little Bear is one of the old shows. Bear in the Big Blue House, like stuff like that. It's very muted. Bears. Yeah, or Berenstein, however they want to call it for your conspiracy theories there.
What is that called? The
Mandela effect. Yeah. And it's different, you know, the way that we grew up compared to how other people are growing up nowadays. It really makes me feel that with kids, I want to make sure that they know what a VHS is, what CDs are. I mean, I had a Walkman when I grew up on the farm. I had a Walkman. I had cassettes.
And a Discman.
Yeah. You know, no one understands what it's like
nowadays. A CD that skips.
Yeah, or no one knows what it's like to, if you had a boy or a girl you had a crush on, you would have to call the home phone number, you know, of the house, and then the parents would pick up, and you would be like, what do you want to do with my daughter, you know? And you're like this young kid, like a 10-year-old, like, oh, I wanted to play like kick the can with her outside. And he's like, nope.
Play spin the bottle with her.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Kids don't understand the pressures and the how scared you were calling home phone numbers and getting the parent that picks up the phone.
Now
it's a rite of passage.
Every kid's got a cell phone.
I know.
It's crazy.
I'm definitely not doing that. We're not doing that.
No good.
No. Good. But it's fun. I mean, reminiscing on old times. I mean, it's going to be, you have to go with the times for sure, but I think a lot of the times are quite corrupt. We always kind of go back one way. I think there's an uprising of a lot of people doing VHS, though, and choosing the proper cartoons for their brains.
Records, vinyls.
Yeah, people are coming back. It's always the way. People fluctuate. We get really, really high technology, then we get an uprise of people doing the opposite, you know, and then going the scoop down and going back to the old ways. Just like with fashion. Everything that was really popular in the 90s came back in fashion. Early 2000s. Now apparently everyone's into being super skinny and anorexic. Just like they were in the 2000s, you know, because that was the whole thing. We went through the whole flux of everyone doing the BBLs, you know, and getting all the Kim Kardashian looks, and then it's gone back into the early 2000s where it's like, oh, I just had lunch. breathing air. It's the gimmick of models and stuff, not consuming food. But that was very early 2000s, the low-rise jeans where you're so skinny you have no butt. We just gotta find a happy medium, but people don't know how to find a medium. It's always extremes or nothing else.
Yeah. Well, you gotta push it to the limit. But yeah, speaking of pushing it to the limit, do you guys think that was Jim Carrey doing his speech? That's what we were talking about earlier, is like the facelifts and, you know, how people are just changing their whole look to try and make themselves look a little bit younger. And Annarose thinks that he's a clone.
Totally clone.
Clone. Do you think that there's clones?
I don't trust that Jim Carrey.
Yeah. They've been cloning what, like sheep in China for like 20 years or some shit. So if they can clone a sheep, I'm sure they can clone a human being.
Oh, of course.
And there's another thing that I just saw recently, technology wise. They took basically like a computer generated photographic imaging of a fruit fly's brain, like all the neurons and all the connections, and then implemented into a computer, and the fruit fly was like a computer generated fruit fly, and it like got up and started walking and flying around as if it was a real fruit fly in the real world, but it was computer generated. So it makes me think of two things. One, that were like, there's, I don't know, 20,000 or 100,000 neuron connections inside the fruit fly's brain. In a human's brain, it's like 1 million or something, or fuck, I don't know what the number was, 20 million, 1 trillion, whatever. And they're like, humans are really good at figuring things out on a smaller scale and then, you know, making it bigger, hence like computers getting smarter and shit. Like your smartphone now has the same technology that like helped get the spaceships onto the moon in 1960 whatever, when they first flew to the moon. So we will soon be able to,
if that was real,
fully that's
a whole other thing.
But we will be able to eventually completely take a photographic computerized picture of a human's brain and upload it into a computer so that that person could still live on after they die and still have the same thoughts and emotions and feelings as that person who is alive, which people are going to do, and they're going to do it with their dogs and cats and everything too, to keep them around. And then they're going to create robots or clones that they can then implement that same brain scan into that clone or robot, and then it'll be able to act like that person who died. And on top of that, it makes you question, if we're now coming to this technological revolution now at year 2026 of our retarded thought that we think that 2026 is a year. It's not really a year. There's no 0 point. There's no BC, AD, before Christ, after death. Like time is just going on and on and on and on. So we could have been around for hundreds of thousands of years. I just saw this thing I got to show you on Instagram that was talking about how there's all this technology and things that they found. Like there's these pipes in China that have been there for 150,000 years or some shit. Jeez. There was a hammer found in Texas that was like buried inside a rock, and it's been in there for hundreds of thousands of years. It makes you think, was there time traveling? Was that somebody time traveling back with a hammer from now? Or did there actually happen to be human beings at that time that had that technology? There's also some crazy stuff with like Aztecs, pyramids, all that stuff. But anyway, my final thought on that is that we potentially right now could be living a simulated world, which is what Elon Musk has mentioned, that we are living in a simulation. He said there's a high probability, and he's a pretty smart motherfucker. So high probability that we're probably living in a simulation right now, and there is another version of me somewhere in a holodeck that has like programmed the Robbie G that's here on this plane of existence, and there's actually a puppeteer behind the scenes pulling the strings. I don't know if I believe all that, but I'm saying if we figured out this technology at this stage, and there's aliens and like other planets, I definitely believe in aliens. How is there not aliens? There's definitely aliens around somewhere in other planets. The universe is way too vast for us to be selfish enough to think that we're the only intelligent life in the entire universe. I think that's just completely wildly stupid to think that. So drawing on that conclusion, I feel like there are other species on other planets that have developed their technology way beyond what we're at here on Earth, and Earth could simply just be an experiment, and there's aliens on another planet that are, this is a simulated world and it's not really real. Which is why things like the Mandela effect happen.
Well, no. The thing with Mandela effect is marketing. The government trying to manipulate our brains in order to control us and make us feel like we don't know what's happening. Is basically they're always testing things because they do put these things out. No, they do put these things out, as for instance the cornucopia on the Fruit and the Loom, thing, and people did find that there was actually a cornucopia on the Fruit and the Loom title, but then they just tried to gaslight us to think otherwise because they're seeing how much they can actually manipulate our brain to fit their needs.
That's one theory, but there's also the theory that we split timelines.
Well, yeah, but I'm also just saying that the moment humans play God is when the world's just going to end again. I think this world has ended multiple times, for sure. Humans gotta stop fucking playing God. Like controlling life and death. No way.
Well,
things have its progress. Things are supposed to live and things are supposed to die. And people, I think that we just gotta live and let love. And in a lot of ways too, I think a lot of people want to believe in the simulation thing. I don't want to believe in that one because I think that it makes us feel a little bit meaningless.
And we don't have control.
We don't have control.
And
it feels
what's that?
We're left to our circumstances, and we have it doesn't feel worth it. If everything's a simulation, we feel tiny, like a chessboard.
Yeah, and that we don't have choice.
Yeah.
We don't. Fate is predetermined, and we don't have free will. That's the word I'm trying to think of.
I'm not a huge fan of that. Yeah.
No, I don't think so either. I don't necessarily subscribe to the theory. However, it is interesting to pontificate, and based on this new advancements in technology and what they're doing with this fruit fly, it just begs the question to think if they can do that with a fruit fly in 2026 in this plane of existence on this planet. What are they doing on other planets where they've been developing technology for millennia?
I think that we had way higher technology actually back in the day. Just the way that
too, yeah.
Describing how the pyramids were made and so many other buildings and so many phenomenal architecture that we cannot even do at all anymore. Because we just don't have the technology. Okay, no, I'm sorry. That I think that it's all been hidden from us.
Yeah.
For instance, you're not actually able to fly over a certain place in Antarctica. It's government watched. There's so much stuff that's just not allowed.
Yeah.
That is just all private.
The next theory is that there's a Stargate in Iran, and that's why the war is happening right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Trump wants access to the Stargate so that they can travel to other dimensions.
There's a lot of theories, but a lot of the times a lot of things are built off theories. Everything has always been theory at one point. A lot of people call conspiracy theorists crazy, but all that we're doing is questioning. We're inquisitive. We ask questions because we want to learn more, and we're not complacent with just being fed information by just any source because we want to feel comfortable. We want to be inquisitive about life, inquisitive about situations, because you can usually tell if something doesn't feel right, there's probably a lot more behind it than just what you think. Again, the brainwashing in regards to age. I think that is a huge brainwashing. I think that is a huge manipulation.
First, the byproducts. Health products.
Health products, but I also think it does stem huge from pedophilia.
Okay.
Yeah, always looking young, always looking plump, like a baby skin, big poofy lips, I think it all stems from Hollywood and deeming in pedophilia, a huge part of it, because we're so obsessed with looking like children. I've had so many women come up to me, older women, who are like, oh my God, you look like you're 13. And it's that's not a compliment. Immature, not taken care of. Not I've lived life. That's not a compliment to me. And a lot of people say, oh, you'll find it a compliment later. And it's no, I won't. Because I don't want to look like I'm 13. I haven't lived any life or have wisdom or experience. That's insulting to me. But our culture is so obsessed again with this looking young, looking like a child, in my personal opinion. Like the filling our face with Botox is so that we don't have our curves, our lines, our beautifulness that makes us unique. Like, bring back unique faces. Everyone looks like they have the same face nowadays. Where in the 2000s you could find so many different types of looking women and men. But now it's just the same face for everything, and it's very boring. But I do think it stems from pedophilia.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but you're coming from a place where you look absolutely gorgeous, and your face has like perfect, proportions. Your nose is like perfectly proportioned. Your lips are perfectly proportioned. Your eyes, everything about you is gorgeous.
Well,
And
thank you.
there's some people that don't. I remember seeing this post recently by this girl that was like before the surgery, after the surgery, and her friggin' nose was like whoa.
Oh, but I
It was
love
like
them.
massive. It was huge, and I mean, most people could look at that and be like, "Whoa, okay." And then she got her nose done, and her face looked like amazing, like 10 times better. Just with getting one surgery done, it was $20,000, I think, to get her nose fixed.
If it builds your self-esteem, do whatever you want to your body, absolutely. But the biggest thing is, if you're gonna have kids and now you've rejected your own nose, what is your daughter going to think about when she has your exact nose?
What if she never has kids because she's like, I don't want to have a child there?
Well,
or
I mean,
that's
a choice decision. But what I'm saying though is, a lot of the times, for instance, I grew up really wanting to get a boob job. I felt my boobs were not big enough. Huge insecurities around my body and what it looked like, especially around my face and everything like that. So it's funny you say that. But
what insecurity did you have around your face?
Oh, I mean, like I got bullied hard for what I looked like, So you build. I had
your teeth are perfect.
I had horrible acne, and I think a lot of young girls can experience that. We just kept putting on more makeup in order to cover, and then we got more acne because of the makeup that we would put on when we were in high school. At least that was my experience. But yeah, so going back just to the boob job thing, but I realized that I was like, first off, my kids, or my daughter that I have, is going to probably have the exact same boob size as me, and I want her to feel pride and joy from her body, not like feeling like she needs to change something because mom changed something. And so it all stems from you building the center, you building your foundation of love and support for your body and your features without needing to change anything with it. And I mean, like, if you need to get a nose job to help support your system, to feel beautiful, absolutely go for it. But there's also other things you need to keep in mind. Like, if you do have kids, they're probably going to have those same things. And are you going to shame your daughter like you shamed yourself over the features that you had naturally, when so many people love those features? If you're into anime, for instance, Annie Lionheart or Leonhardt in Attack on Titan has this beautiful like nose that like sticks out like that, and it's like a curved nose. And you don't see that very often because, like you said, a lot of people get nose jobs nowadays. But when you see those features, it's just so unique to see them. What's the woman in Pulp Fiction? She's quite tall. She had the black short hair. What's this actress's name? She was in the song "If You Got It, Flaunt It" from the producers. Anyway, she is gorgeous. Oh, Uma Thurman.
Okay. Yeah.
Gorgeous, tall, stunning, very unique features in her face. Nothing like you've ever seen before, and she would be called a unique beauty because you never see anything like that otherwise. And it's honestly just the way that she owns her beauty. What she looks like is a huge factor. There's another actress, a British actress, who has a gap tooth. Her teeth kind of stick out. I'm not sure. She was in Sex Education, and phenomenal actress, but people are obsessed because she has allowed her natural features to come through. So people who see those features, for instance, on actors, then feel like, oh, and people think they're beautiful, then I must be beautiful. Like, you're also setting a standard for how, like, I love myself with all these features. And you know what? In so many different cultures, other things are found like beautiful. Back in the day, if you were really heavy, it was shown that you were consumed a lot of food and you were rich and you were actually raised in higher esteem of beauty. If you were skinny, you were labeled poor and not as wealthy and like wanted, you know, so everything changes all the time. Our depiction of what beauty looks like changes so drastically that it's just like, what are you going to buy into and what is the brainwashing you want to participate in?
Mm-hmm. It's like Owen Wilson with his nose.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's like
broken like six or something,
yeah.
6 times or something. Great.
And he pulls it off. So yeah. Anyway, that's our chat for tonight about beauty, and accept your flaws, all of them. Enjoy all your gray hairs when you get old and crusty like me, and don't inject yourself full of Botox.
He's not even crusty. He's like the most handsome man in the whole world.
Yeah,
like, what are you kidding?
Yeah. So.
Talk about my features. Talk about your features. This man is built like a Greek god.
All right. That's because we would do the workouts every day. Enjoy. Thank you. Subscribe. Share. That's it for today. Have an awesome day, night, and life. Keep it going. Vlogging. All right. We're going to chill.